Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and today I am here with the first update of 2026 for my Yuh-portfolio. It's January the 24th, so yesterday it was the last trading day of the week and I bought yesterday one share. You will see in a minute what I bought, but when you look at the title Reinsured into 2026, you should already know which stock I bought. And my total on Yuh right now is 4,206.77 Swiss francs. So, as always, my wage got paid yesterday morning and I immediately transferred 200 Swiss francs to my Yuh account. That hit my account a little bit later, so then I had 332.64 Swiss francs to my disposal. It was 331.96 Swiss francs plus 0.73 euros. You will see in a minute why that was. And the numbers are from the 23rd of January, so yesterday. I will post this video on the 25th in the morning, so it's already 2 days ago then. And my quadrant overview is of how it looked on the evening of the 22nd, and on which I also based my buys for the next morning. And this is why I received or had 0.73 euros in my pay account on my Yuh account, and it's because I received a dividend from ING. So I have 5 pieces and I received 0.172 euros per share. So yeah, brut that was 0.86 euros, and of course with the withholding tax of 15% from the Netherlands, I lost 13 cents, so I got still 0.73 euros. So that's the 73 cents that you saw earlier in my pay account. And then we can go to the quadrant overview, and here you can already see that I bought Swiss Re. You can also see that the PE value, I changed that one from 12 to 12.5. It was trading at 12.80, 12.90 in the beginning of January, and then I said, hey, it's always trading with about a difference of 1 PE, so I should change the PE of Swiss Re, but I didn't want to change it to 13, excuse me, and buy it at 12.80. So I said, okay, I will put it at 12.50. In an earlier video that I made a few weeks ago, I said it was nearing my buy limit, and that was when it was trading at about 12.65. So it was still a little bit off of my new level of 12.5. And in the end, yeah, it ended at 12.20. And I even bought a little bit cheaper, so I know I bought it a little bit more expensive at 12.25 because it went up in the morning when I bought it. So that's a bit unfortunate, but still I'm really happy to own Swiss Re right now. And yeah, Volkswagen is still buyable. They published great results actually. Okay, they aren't selling that much cars in China, but for the rest, all their results are actually quite okay. Then you have AXA, as always, still a good company, also very good valuation. I was actually doubting to buy AXA instead of Swiss Re, but yeah, I wanted that stock in my portfolio, and I went for Swiss Re as the new one in my portfolio. BASF still interesting to put in my portfolio. Shell is there as well, and yeah, I don't understand why they are actually putting the earnings per share of Shell so low everywhere. In my opinion, they are still getting to the earnings per share of 2.63 over the whole year. So I saw way lower numbers. So for me, it's still like this. So that's why I'm also hesitant to really buy more of Shell. It's already a huge position in my portfolio. compared to all the rest. So it's, for me, it's in the buyable category, but I'm refraining myself a bit from buying more. Then we can go to the buyable but needs to drop. I only want to talk about Siemens here because Siemens, it's 26.11 as a PE. So that's a huge deviation compared to the PE of 18 that I have in order to buy it. So it's way off. And when you go to the not buyable section, you have Logitech that dropped a lot in the past month and a half. So actually that one is now way cheaper than Siemens. So I was doubting to put Siemens here, but Logitech is still way more overpriced than Siemens when you look at the other metrics besides the PE value. Because don't be mistaken, I only show the PE value here, but I also take into account other metrics. So it's always not financial advice, it's just my personal opinion, and I buy every month what I believe is the best buy for that moment for my portfolio. So I always say my portfolio. What I do is normally not always the best for you. So do your own research and do your own due diligence. I moved buyer to this section now because it actually shot up in the past month like crazy, and I believe that from a point of 43 euros onwards, it's not buyable anymore. So it needs to be below 43, and it's at 44, 45 right now. So way above where I want it to be to buy more. It's still really cheap. Don't get me wrong, but there are positive signals, and they are the investors are jumping on buyer like crazy, and then you need to be careful as well. So I bought it when it was around 35. I believe that was a really good buy. So I'm up big time on buyer, even though I only have 4 shares. I'm yeah, I put it in the other category, and I'm going to wait when some negative news hits again, and when it drops back at around the price of 40, 42, I will buy more buyer for sure. So I bought Swiss Re, 2 shares at a price of 123.55 Swiss francs. With the cost, it's 248.53 Swiss francs. And as I already said, I upped the PE value for Swiss Re to 12.50 from 12, like for AXA. And it's always trading with a premium compared to AXA because it's a reinsurer, of course. So I believe it's justified to increase the PE value for me to buy it to 12.50 compared to 12 for AXA. And AXA is still cheaper right now. So actually I should have bought AXA, but it was the lowest price in over a year for Swiss Re, so I just had to pull the trigger. And since they gave the lower guidance for 2026, they are trading down. So they gave a profit target of 4.5 billion US dollar because they always report in US dollar. And that was 4 below what the analysts were thinking that it would be. So I like that when a company is actually giving out great results and then giving a guidance that is slightly, actually that this wasn't slightly, but is below the estimate of analysts, so that I can buy more. And in this case, I can buy it finally. And they are the second largest reinsurer in the world with a good diversified business model. They also have a strict dividend policy. And okay, 2 years ago, they had a slight drop when you look at it at their amount in Swiss francs because they started announcing the dividend in US dollar. But I looked into that, and I first thought of a couple of videos ago, I said, hey, when they are paying out US dollar, maybe I can't buy it, but they are still paying out their dividends in Swiss francs. So I'm really happy about that. And currently they have a dividend yield of 4.75%. So this increases my dividend yield on my portfolio considerably. I don't buy Swiss Re because it has a high dividend yield. I buy Swiss Re because it's a good company. You have to watch my video about my Fortress playbook. I really like that video. I hope you like it too. I will put a link at the end of this video and also put the link in the description down below. So on the 23rd of January, on the time that you are watching this, so I will publish it on the 25th. It's already 2 days ago. I deposited 200 Swiss francs, and in total now I have deposited 3,900 Swiss francs. So in total on my U account I have now 4,206.77 Swiss francs, and I have on my pay account I have 83.43 Swiss francs and still the dividend from ING 0.73 euros, and that's in total 84.10 Swiss francs converted together. Here you can see the investments that I have in my portfolio. Only the Swiss coins aren't here. So when you count all those values together, you will have a value of around 8.8 less than what you see there, because I have 5 Swiss coins more from the sell of Emirates. Then I have 5 Swiss coins more from the buy of Swiss Re. So now in total I have 390 Swiss coins, and the price rose once again every month. Normally you increases the price of the Swiss coins a bit, so it's not real crypto like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but yeah, it's virtual money that I get every time when I do a trade on my U account. I didn't know that I was going to get 5 Swiss coins from my sell of Emirates, so that's a nice thing, of course. And now I have 8.08 Swiss francs in Swiss coin. So in total 4,206.77 Swiss francs. My cash position is 84.10, and I invested now in total 3,969.84 Swiss francs. My investments are worth 4,122.67. As always, this number here from the graph that we see in the U app is always a bit different. I don't know why they don't get that right, but yeah, it's the way it is. And my stocks are worth 4,114.59. That's the real value right now with the valuations that are in the SIX stock exchange. We will go to the Getquin app in a few minutes. And then the crypto is now worth 8.08, so 390 Swiss coins there. And the current profit and loss on the stocks is plus 144.75, so plus 3.65%, so that's a huge drop. And it's a decrease of 182.19 Swiss francs, so that's a lot. But you also need to know that I sold Emirates and I haven't reinvested about 40 Swiss francs yet from that sell. So that influences this number a bit, but still with a loss of around 140 Swiss francs in a month, that's still a bad month for my U portfolio. And we will discuss the 2 shares that actually caused this drop the most this past month later on in this video, so stay tuned for that. And the total profit and loss on the deposited amount, so compared to the 3,900 Swiss francs that I already deposited in my U account, I'm in the plus 306.77 Swiss francs. So that's a plus of 7.87%, and that's 20.44% due to the dividends that I received in my U account. Here you can see then the estimate of our dividends to be received this year, in total 161.99 Swiss francs. So there was a huge increase due to the 2 shares of Swiss Re that are going to deliver me a total brut dividend of 14.70. And you know that it's a brutto dividend, so no anticipatory or withholding tax is deducted from these numbers. Swiss Re, for sure, there is going to be 35% deducted, but then in my tax return, I will put all those numbers in and I will get back a few percentages of that number for sure. But yeah, it's just to give you an overview. And then we can actually go to Getquin. Wait a minute, where is it? Here. So here is the Yuh-portfolio. It's always the same, of course, with the performance. It's the portfolio value. I will go back to maximum. So you can see that we are still in the positive compared to what I deposited. You see that it's 3,833.65 due to all the taxes and costs that we need to pay, of course, with every trade. But yeah, it's a nice depiction of of Getquin. So I really like Getquin. You know that. I also will put the link in the description down below about the fact that they already give the dividend data for 2027, which I really like. And here you can see all the positions. And yeah, buyer, that's a position that I can show you here. I'm already up 41.10 Swiss francs on that position. So that's just great. And if you look at the value here, it's a little bit lower than I reported because yeah, Getquin always goes further until the close of the American markets, and it still looks at the order book of all the shares, and then it calculates the fictive value of the share and calculates with that value your valuation of your portfolio. Sometimes that's a bit annoying, but sometimes that's also interesting to see where it's going to open on Monday. And then we can go and look at the dividends. So I had 161.99 and here it's 162.16. So we only have a small deviation. And that small deviation is due to the fact that Getquin always recalculates the dividend, the predicted dividend, according to their CAGR that they have in their database. So yeah, we only have a small deviation here, so I really like that. And if we look at 2027, we are closer to 170 Swiss francs already in 2027. So soon we will reach 200 Swiss francs, and then we get one extra month every year from dividends for investing in our Yuh-portfolio, which is incredible and really nice after only investing for almost a year and a half in my Yuh-portfolio. So we can go back to my presentation and we can talk about one of the culprits for the loss of the past month, and that's Nestlé. It is going down like a rock after the news of contaminated infant formula. They recalled it on the 5th of January, but supposedly they knew already on the 15th of December, which is really bad if that's actually true. So they have recall that affects the SMA, the BIBA, the NAN, and the alpha-amino, and triggered alerts in 37 countries worldwide. That's just enormous. And the reason is that they have a contaminated ingredient. I don't know which ingredient yet. I haven't read it anywhere, and I must say I've read a lot of articles around it. And it's due to the cerulite toxin from Bacillus cereus. And it's an ingredient that comes from a Chinese supplier. And you can say, hey, how come they didn't analyze it? that's a difficult thing. When you get a batch of an ingredient and it's a huge batch, and you take 5 or maybe even 10 samples of that huge batch, you will always miss spots. And when it's a bacterium, yeah, bacteriums, they are maybe concentrated in one place. And when you don't sample that area where that bacillus is growing and producing the toxin, you're not going to detect it, even with taking 5 samples in a huge batch. That is just a thing that you can't avoid. Even when you have laboratories, and Nestlé has a lot of laboratories to do all those tests, it's just a matter of sampling difficulty. You have the same thing when huge ships arrive with mice from abroad, and you have to check whether or not they only have 1% of GGOs in it. So, yeah, how do you sample a huge container ship with which is full of mice? You can't control every grain of mice. So that's the same with these batches, and it's really unfortunate. And in Belgium, a baby got sick. It had cerulite in the faces, so that's already detected. The formula is still under investigation. They are going to research the formula in Cienzano. It's the reference lab in Belgium. And in France, 2 babies possibly died from drinking the milk, which was made with infant formula. So there, it's still under investigation. Nothing is known for sure. They haven't found cerulite in the babies or in their feces yet. I haven't read that anywhere. And also in the formula that they still have left, maybe they don't have it even left. It's really scarce, the information that you read about it, but this is serious. Even though infant formula is only 0.5% of the business, it has a way bigger impact, and you also see it on the price going down from the stock of Nestlé, and it's going to weigh down on the stock for quite a long time. So yeah, it's sad to say, but for me it's going to be a buy opportunity in the long run. But yeah, it's really bad news for the parents of those 2 babies in France, and also from the baby in Belgium. So yeah, I as a as an owner of shares of Nestle, so as a part owner of the business, I'm truly sorry for this. And then you also have the news of the water division. They announced that they are searching for selling their water division with Perrier and San Pellegrino. It's worth around 5 billion euros, they say. So they are looking for, yeah, a takeover candidate. And I'm actually not that happy about that. 1 year ago, they said they were going to split it off and give it to the shareholders as a separate division. I like that idea more, and it would be better in my opinion, but I'm just a small bug, so yeah, what am I? And those big guys, they are deciding. So yeah, hopefully it's a good decision. But on the other hand, water is really important, certainly in the future. So either they keep it or they split it off. But selling is, for in my opinion, really a bad decision. And then another culprit of the drop in our portfolio worth, that is BKW. So it lost a lot of value due to a value adjustment to their Wilhelmshaven coal-fired power plant due to lower future output predictions and lower power price volatility. And they make money on the lower power price volatility, of course, because they are trading on the price of electricity. And because of this, with the emphasis on non-cash write-down of 110 million, BKW just got its yeah, it's always because I'm in Switzerland, of course, and I write its, but it always changes it to ist because that's German, of course. So sorry for that. So it cuts its 2025 EBIT guidance down to 540 to 560 million Swiss francs from 650 to 750 million Swiss francs that it was before. And if you add the 110 million to the 540, 560 million, it would have been 650 to 670 million. So it would have hit it. It was on the lower part of the estimates, but it would have hit them. So they would have been met. But yeah, it's at the lower edge, and they also lowered the guidance for 2026 at the same time to 650 to 750 million Swiss francs. So actually the previous guidance is now the new guidance for 2026. So the previous of 2025 is now the new one for 2026. But that one came down from 808 million Swiss francs, which was the global consensus of all the analysts following BKW. So that reinforces a softer earnings outlook, and investors don't like to see that. So the stock is trading down a lot this past week and a half, and I actually this past week the most, but it already started moving a half week prior. The FINMA should look into that, but the FINMA, they don't do anything here in Switzerland. I don't understand what the FINMA actually does. It's a big accusation what I'm saying here, but actually I already saw a lot of cases where in America it wouldn't fly. They would act on it, they would investigate what is happening there, but when you see stocks moving and then you get news and it's moving even more, the FINMA should look into that and who was trading then. And they should punish those people because they have insight in the results and they are already trading on it, and that's illegal. So the FINMA should do their job. So hopefully one guy or one woman working at the FINMA is hearing this and actually going to investigate those things. And I will always, when I see things happening like that, I will always say them on my channel. When some people have difficulties with that, no problem. You can come and speak with me. I see what I see, and it's not normal that the FINMA isn't acting up on this. And for BKW, it's actually nothing unusual because last year they also gave a lower guidance. Now they do the same thing, and that's just because they want to keep their share price down. It's no secret that their employees can buy shares in April or May at a reduced price of 30% compared to the past 3 months of share price evaluation. An average price of over the past 3 months of trading. So it's actually February till April, and then they can buy at a 30% reduced price. So for the employees, it's really good, and especially for the bosses. So is that also something that the FINMA should look into? I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, if you look at the graph of BKW for the past few years, actually from the moment that they started trading on the Swiss Stock Exchange, the only direction that their share is going is up. And okay, now they already lost a lot of value in the past week, So they are back trading at around the valuation of a year ago. But it's a great company, and they are for sure going to trade up again. And for me, nothing has changed for BKW except their share price. So you can expect me to start buying if they are under a PE of 17. If you look back in the video and you go to my quadrant valuations, there you see it's 17.03. And I know that my earnings per share number is still the old one. I have to correct it with the write down, but actually I don't know whether or not that's correct because it's a non-cash write down. So actually they still have the earnings per share that is written there in my valuation quadrant. So now they are, yeah, fictually on 17.97 PE on the Yahoo website, Yahoo Finance website. And so they have still a way to go to reach 17. But in my eyes, they are, yesterday they were already there, in fact, so on Friday. But I believe that they are going to trade down a little bit more at around PE of 16. They are going to get there, and then they are also here at a PE of 17 on the Yahoo website, and then it's definitely a good price to buy more BKW. And then we can go to the one success story of the past month. So I bought Bayer a month ago, and yeah, in the US, the Supreme Court decided to hear an appeal in a Roundup case, and now investors are really hopeful that this will reshape thousands of similar lawsuits that are still pending in the US. And yeah, it's about 80% of all the lawsuits that are infected or affected, not infected, sorry for that. So that's really big. You still have cases in Canada and everything, but in the US at least, a lot of the litigation pressure can disappear, but that's not certain yet. So that's what I said already before. A lot of investors are jumping on it, and the price shot up with more than 10 euros in just a month. That's incredibly fast. I'm really happy with that because I'm way in the green now. But on the other hand, it's a bit too fast in my eyes. And on the other hand, you have positive signals for future revenue for their pharma division. So you have the FDA accepted END, the investigational new drug for AB 1009. So that's the drug code that they are going to be able to start testing. And it's said from AskBio, the Bayer's gene therapy subsidiary, that it's a drug that can help with the late onset of Pompe disease. And then you also have another drug, darolutamide, from Nubeqa for the treatment of prostate cancer, which has strong growth potential according to many analysts following Bayer. And then you also have Hirnio associated with adalimumab, and that drug is associated with autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, you have psoriasis, and also inflammatory bowel disease that can be treated with those drugs. So hopefully that has a positive impact as well. And then you also have linzannetant, which is yeah, a great product for women, which can help them with their hot flashes during their menopause. And a lot of analysts think that those two drugs will also be interesting for the future for the pharma division of Bayer. So I'm ending with a positive note with Bayer. The other two notes with BKW and Nestlé weren't that positive. But yeah, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that like button as well. That helps out my channel enormously. And you will see here appearing my Fortress playbook. I put a lot of effort in making that video, so hit that icon so you can watch that video next. and see you on the next video. Bye.